Welcome back to the deep dive, everybody. Today we're going to be, really like digging deep into marketing procurement and how to find the right people to really make your marketing sing. We've got some great sources, and I'm really excited to share all the insights and secrets that they have to offer. Get ready to learn about, really like how to separate the pros from the amateurs in the marketing world and why choosing the cheapest option is not always the best move.
Yeah, it's not just about pinching pennies. It's about investing in the right people and resources,
Yeah.
the ones that are actually going to help your business grow.
So let's get right into it. First things first. Our sources all seem to agree that you really got to understand the difference between suppliers and agencies. I feel like these terms get thrown around a lot, but
Mhm.
what's the real distinction here?
You're absolutely right. It is a critical distinction,
Hmm.
and it can really make or break your marketing strategy.
It's like this. Suppliers give you the tools and agencies give you the expertise to use them. Okay, I think I'm starting to see the difference. So like if an agency is the architect designing a house, then the supplier is the lumberyard providing the wood and nails.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Knowing the difference is really going to empower you to ask the right questions, and then you can really evaluate potential partners effectively.
The sources actually talk a lot about how choosing the wrong type of partner is like one of the biggest mistakes businesses make.
It's a really common mistake. It'd be like hiring a wedding planner to cater your event.
Hmm.
Both are crucial for a successful event, but their expertise lies in completely different areas.
Right. So it's about matching the right expertise with the specific need, which makes me realize how important that initial assessment is.
Definitely. And speaking of assessments, our sources give us a really comprehensive roadmap for identifying the right partners,
Hmm.
whether it's suppliers or agencies. And it all starts with defining your needs.
That makes sense. But what does that really mean? I mean, it sounds kind of vague.
Yeah, it is a little vague, but it basically means going beyond just listing the services you need. It's about understanding your business goals, your target audience, your budget, and your timeline.
I can see how answering those questions would help you narrow down your options.
Absolutely. You can avoid wasting time on partnerships that don't really fit with your overall vision.
So once you've got that figured out, then what? How do you actually find these potential partners? Do you just Google best marketing agencies or
Oh,
something?
well, yeah, you can start there. But don't underestimate the power of networking and industry events. I mean, there's so much valuable information you can get just from talking to colleagues, mentors, and even competitors.
So you're saying it's more about tapping into real world connections and experiences.
Exactly. Think of it like gathering intel from people
Yeah.
who've already gone through this whole marketing procurement process.
Okay. So you've defined your needs, you've done some networking,
Hmm.
and you've got a list of potential partners. What's next?
All right, so now it's time to really delve into their capabilities and experience. Go beyond those surface level presentations and marketing materials. Look at their portfolio's case studies. See if they've worked with businesses in your industry and what the results were.
So it's like checking a chef's resume before you hire them to work in your restaurant. You want to see what kind of dishes they've made?
That's a great analogy. You want proof of their expertise.
References and testimonials are also really important. Don't be afraid to reach out to past clients and get their honest feedback.
You'll get a much better perspective on what it's like to actually work with them. Ask about their communication style, their problem-solving abilities, and their commitment to the project.
It seems like a crucial step that people might forget.
Yeah, it's really easy to overlook,
Yeah.
but it can save you from a lot of potential headaches down the road.
While you're doing all that research, our sources say to pay close attention to innovation.
It's not enough to just look at their past performance. You need to see if they can adapt and thrive in the ever-changing marketing landscape.
So we want a partner who's looking ahead, not stuck in the past.
Exactly. Like, would you rather work with a company that's still using dial-up internet
Hmm.
or one that's exploring the metaverse?
That's a good point. So you're saying I should ask about things like AI-powered marketing tools.
Exactly. Those are the kind of innovations that can give you a real edge.
Okay, so far we've covered defining your needs, researching potential partners, assessing their experience and innovation. What else is there?
The last piece of the puzzle is communication and compatibility.
You mean more than just being able to get them on the phone, right?
Yeah, it's more than that. It's about finding a partner who really understands your vision and can communicate effectively.
So it's not just about finding a team of brilliant strategists. It's about finding a team that you can actually work with.
Exactly. It's about shared values, mutual respect, and a collaborative approach.
Because at the end of the day, it's a partnership, right?
It is a partnership. You're building a relationship that hopefully will last for a long time.
And this is where things get really interesting, because all of our sources agree on a crucial point. It's not just about finding the cheapest option.
Nope, it's about finding the best value.
And those aren't always the same thing.
Definitely not. Focusing on the lowest price tag can often lead to bigger problems down the line.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What kind of problems are we talking about?
Okay, imagine this. You decide to go with the cheapest printing company for your brochures. You think you're saving money, but then the quality of the printing is terrible. Delivery is delayed, and you end up having to scramble to find a new printer.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It is. And in the end, that cheap option actually ended up costing you more.
So how do we avoid that trap? How do we make sure we're getting the best value without losing our minds in the process?
It starts by remembering that value isn't just about the price. It's about the quality of the work, the reliability of the partner, the level of service they provide, and their overall commitment to your success.
So it sounds like it's about taking all the factors we've talked about into account.
You got it. It's about looking at the big picture. And
Mhm.
sometimes investing a little more upfront can save you a lot of headaches and money in the long run.
So it's an investment, not just an expense.
Exactly.
Okay, so it seems like we've covered a lot of ground when it comes to actually, finding the right partners. But is there a way to know, like really know, that you've found the perfect match? Is it just like a gut feeling, or are there certain signs to watch out for?
Well, I'd say it's a bit of both.
Mm.
You definitely want to feel that sense of excitement and trust, but there are some, concrete indicators that the partnership is going to be successful.
Okay, so what are we looking for?
Well, one key thing is, a genuine curiosity about your business and your goals. They should be asking you thoughtful questions, really trying to understand your challenges and aspirations. It's not just about, them trying to sell you on their services.
So it's more about understanding than selling.
Exactly. You want a partner who sees themselves as an extension of your team, not just an external vendor.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like the difference between a doctor who just prescribes medication and one who takes the time to understand your lifestyle and medical history.
That's a great analogy. It's about personalized attention and a tailored approach.
One thing that our sources talk about is the importance of aligning on how you're going to measure success. So it's not just about setting goals, but also agreeing on how you're going to track progress.
You need to have those clear metrics and reporting frameworks from the start. It ensures transparency and accountability throughout the partnership.
I imagine this is where things can get tricky. I mean, different businesses might define success in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. For some, it might be increasing website traffic. For others, it might be boosting brand awareness or driving sales. It's all about aligning on the specific metrics that matter to you.
So you're saying it's not enough to just hand off a project and hope for the best.
Right. You need to have an ongoing dialogue
Right.
about progress, challenges, and adjustments.
Which is why communication and compatibility are so important.
Exactly. You need a partner who's willing to have those tough conversations, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to work collaboratively.
Because, in the world of marketing, things rarely go exactly as planned.
Never. You need to be agile, adaptable, and able to pivot when needed.
Now, one of the more interesting things that the sources bring up is this idea of cultural fit.
Yeah, cultural fit is really important. It's about finding a team whose values and work style align with your own.
So it's kind of like finding a roommate. You might both be great people, but if your lifestyles clash, it's going to be a problem.
Exactly. You want a team that feels like an extension of your own company culture.
It sounds like it can be a real challenge to find that perfect mix of skills, experience, communication style, and cultural fit.
Can be a challenge, but it's worth it. When you find that ideal partner, it's like having a secret weapon.
They elevate your game and help you achieve things you never thought possible.
Exactly.
Now, earlier we talked about focusing on value, not just price, but how do we actually define value in this context?
That's a great question. Value is about more than just the price tag. It's about assessing the overall return on investment. What are you getting for your money?
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you're hiring an agency to create some social media posts. A low-cost option might just give you some generic content, but a higher value partner will take the time to understand your brand voice, research your target audience, and develop a content strategy that really engages your followers.
So it's about strategic thinking, not just task execution.
Precisely.
How can you tell if they're really thinking strategically?
Ask them questions. Like, tell me about a time when you had to adapt your strategy. Or how do you measure the success of a campaign?
You want to see how their minds work?
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing our sources warned about is those deals that seem too good to be true.
Yeah, you always have to be careful. Sometimes those low prices come with hidden costs or compromises.
So read the fine print and ask a lot of questions.
Always. Transparency is key.
It seems like there's a balance to strike. You want to be budget conscious, but you don't want to make decisions based solely on price.
You got it. It's about finding that sweet spot between cost and quality.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about identifying, evaluating, and selecting the right marketing partners. But finding the right partner is just the first step.
Right. The real work begins when you start building that relationship.
And that's what we're going to talk about next. How to build those strong collaborative relationships.
We'll explore strategies for communication, collaboration, and accountability.
All right, so we've spent, a good chunk of time talking about how to find the right marketing partners, those suppliers and agencies that are really going to help you reach your goals. But like we've been saying throughout this whole deep dive, finding the right partner is just the first step.
It really is just the beginning. It's like buying a gym membership. You can have all the fancy equipment and the best trainers, but if you don't actually go to the gym and put in the work, you're not going to see any results.
So how do we make sure that we're actually building, like real partnerships and not just, signing contracts and hoping for the best?
Well, it all starts with communication. Before you even start talking about like the nitty-gritty details of a project, you got to sit down and have an open, honest conversation about what you're hoping to achieve, what resources you have, and what challenges you might run into along the way.
So it's like setting the stage for success.
Exactly. It's all about transparency and alignment.
Our sources also talk about the importance of establishing clear roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, you need to make sure everyone understands how their expertise is going to contribute to the project. It's about working together as a team.
So it's not about, one person dictating everything.
Right, it's a collaborative effort.
I like to think of it like a jazz band. Each musician has their own instrument and their own style, but they all come together to create something beautiful.
I love that analogy. And just like a jazz band needs a conductor, a successful marketing partnership needs a strong communication framework.
So that means like regular check-ins, progress reports, and open lines of communication.
Exactly. You need to create a culture where everyone feels comfortable, sharing their ideas, voicing their concerns, and celebrating their wins.
And this is probably even more important when things go wrong. Because, let's face it, in marketing, things rarely go exactly according to plan.
True that. When you hit a roadblock,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to address it as a team.
Our sources also emphasize the importance of flexibility and adaptability.
The marketing world is constantly changing, so you need a partner who can roll with the punches.
It's like sailing a boat. You have your destination in mind, but you have to adjust your sails based on the wind and the waves.
Exactly. You have to be agile and adaptable.
And it's not just about reacting to changes. It's also about proactively looking for ways to improve.
Right. Are there new tools we can use? Can we streamline our processes? How can we make this partnership even better?
It's all about continuous improvement.
And that's where that shared sense of ownership comes in. It's not enough to just fulfill the terms of a contract. You need to feel invested in the success of the partnership.
And that's what really makes a difference, that shared sense of purpose.
It's about creating a synergy where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of marketing procurement, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is this. Finding the right marketing partners is essential. But it's just the beginning. The real journey starts when you begin to nurture those relationships and build true partnerships that will help you achieve amazing things.
It's not just about signing a piece of paper. It's about embarking on a collaborative journey where shared goals, clear communication, and mutual respect are the keys to success.
It's about understanding that the right partnerships can transform your marketing. From good to great, from ordinary to extraordinary.
So go out there, find those partners who inspire you, who challenge you, and who help you reach your full potential. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time.